Hello, we are the Aokis, and we like to discuss important topics related to family. Today, we'd like to share about the Family Huddle. So the Family Huddle is something that we try to do on a daily basis. And even though we live in the same house and we're all part of the same family, we may see each other throughout the day, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're taking intentional time to reassess how we're doing and making a plan for moving forward. So it's kind of like a sports team needs their timeout to have their team huddle, to have a common plan moving forward. And so as a family too, every evening we come together and we share about maybe the ups and downs, as well as how we can make some improvements, or we recognize also people that are doing a really great job. We recognize individual merit of the kids who have done something that we're really proud of. We want to just let everybody know that so-and-so accomplished something great today. Let's give him a round of applause, or let's give her a round of applause. And share about any important upcoming events. Tomorrow so-and-so's birthday or whatever. And here's the plan, right? So everybody can be on the same page and be ready for that. So all this is very important for the family to feel like we're all one unit and we're going to go into the next day together. So when we have our family huddles, it's always in the evening as we close the day.
It really helps for our kids to feel like they're on the same page and they're part of the process, right? It's not just us parents telling our kids what they're going to do. Okay, you can do this and this and that. Not like they're feeling bossed around all the time, but they're part of building this family to make it a good family, and they have their role to play too. Just like when you were talking about kind of like a sports team, right?
One thing that I really appreciate is that even while I'm gone for work, traveling, Carolee will keep the family huddles going, and she'll share with the children what their dad is up to, because I'll send Carolee a lot of pictures and updates and things like that. And so the kids feel like they're involved and they're still connected as family. And Carolee will explain to the children why it's important, what I'm doing, and things like that. And the kids will encourage me, hey, well, I miss you, Daddy. Hope you're safe and hope you do a good job. And it's just really nice.
Yeah, one of the highlights for our older kids, whenever Dad is away or if I go away, they can always text us or they can send some special message. That's the nice thing about technology these days is even though if we're physically distant, we don't have to be artistically distant, right? We can still keep those close family bonds all the time.
The family huddle time is not just time to only connect and have a good time, although a lot of times we do have a good time, but it's a sacred gathering where we also talk about our spiritual life. How did you and work hard to be a better person today? How did you grow your heart today? Or maybe if there was even something difficult that happened in the day, we bring it up. Hey, so today I heard that you had a fight today. Would you like to bring it up? And let's talk about it as a family. So the type of sharing that we have can sometimes be very important and profound. And we want every family member to understand that they really need to respect that time. And also, it's a time for us to be reminded that as a family, what are we striving for on a daily basis? We're really striving to be a family of love that can bring God into our day-to-day life, that can really be a family that can serve the community. So as a family, we really need to always be on the same page and always be reminded of the spiritual values that our family is trying to uphold.
Even from when they're young, I feel like it's important for them to understand, that this is a serious time and, they need to be quiet at certain times. It's not just about them all the time, right? But already start to instill these types of lessons from when they're young, to understand, what kind of a behavior is expected of you right now, even for our 2 or 3 year old, right? It's not too early actually.
Sometimes if they're too rowdy, I'll literally say, okay, everybody close your eyes and let's have a few minutes to meditate in silence. Please reflect on your day, what you were proud of in that day, or what you think you could have done better in that day. And I'll literally have a few minutes of silence for all members of the family to reflect individually first, and then there's some calmness, and then we'll talk. Well, when we gather together, we don't only just share about our day, but sometimes we also have discussions based upon meaningful topics. Like sometimes Carolee will bring up a topic, or I'll bring up a topic, such as something simple like why do you guys think it's important that we try to have good manners when we greet elders, for example? And I'll share a story of when I was a kid, or Carolee will share a story when she was a kid, and the kids will really attentively listen, and they'll give some of their own responses, and then we'll talk about it. But we always want these meetings to be very effective in terms of a learning mechanism, or like a learning opportunity. Right?
Yeah, and then another thing I feel is important as parents, we're also helping our kids to understand the things that happen throughout the day with a certain kind of perspective, right? It's really easy to like, well, I did, A, B, and C, and yeah, it was good. But as parents and also as teachers, we're always trying to help our kids understand, well, actually, were you thinking about this, when you were helping your younger brother? Or were you thinking about that, when you got into a dispute with your younger sister? And it kind of changes the way they look at it, and they understand, and they're able to catch that lesson. So that's also been really valuable for us as well.
This family huddle tradition is actually something that I grew up with as a child myself, and I also hope that my children can keep that tradition, because I do think it's a very wonderful family tradition. And actually Jordan proudly said one time when he realized that this was something going on for multiple generations, like, yeah, when I have kids, I'm going to do the same thing.
At the end of our family sharing, one thing that we like to do is to take turns praying, so our kids can have the experience of, what to pray for, how to pray, all these things of kind of learning this reverence and respect also to God, and which is great opportunity for them. Each kid gets to take a turn and all that. But after all that, we also make it a point to have an actual family huddle, like an actual hug, a group hug all together. And the kids really love it, actually, more than I thought. And, this in all areas, this time together as a family, both internally and also externally, physically, of really, really connecting in heart, connecting in spirit and mind, and also with our arms around each other. And it's really a great way to end the day every day. And in this way, we really can feel that the biggest lessons are really in the smallest moments like this. More than anything, we really hope that our experiences can be the start of something inspiring for your family, and that together we can build something really inspiring of building families together with God, being great parents, raising great kids, and building something truly inspiring together as a community. So with that said, we want to thank all of you, and hopefully we can see you soon and we can continue this journey together. We just want to end with that we truly believe that every family and every day, there is a way to grow your heart. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.